We have an important correction to make. It appears we have been punked. Earlier in the program, I interviewed someone claiming to be the CEO of Smithfield Foods, Dennis Organ. We've since learned that that was not Dennis Organ, but an imposter making false claims about the company.
Hi everyone, welcome to a new video. Seb here, and today we're going to be talking about something really funny that I came across this morning, and that was an animal rights activist who acted as if he's the CEO of Smithfield, a huge slaughterhouse company, while being interviewed by Fox News. So before we get started, I want to thank every single one of you who has been donating, sharing, or supporting in any way the fundraiser about the Animal Rights and Vegan Sports Center that we launched in the heart of Beirut. Sorry, my friend Josh is calling me. Yo.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, that's how I get greeted. Yes.
I'm filming a video. For those of you who don't know about it yet, the Lebanese Vegan Social Hub is a one-of-a-kind, the only animal rights and vegan sports center in the Middle East, and I'm pretty sure even in Europe, but it's not really about that. We're just really excited to announce this. So if you want, check out the video about it, and if you want to support it, the fundraiser of the project is in the description of the video that you will watch about it. So let's get back to it now. About this animal rights activist who trolled Fox News and acted like he is the CEO of a slaughterhouse company while being interviewed about it. Matt Johnson, the person we're talking about, is an activist with DXC, Direct Action Everywhere group that is based in the United States. And basically they found their way into getting an interview with Fox News by acting like he's the new CEO of the company. So let's quickly watch and see what happened.
Welcome back. Coronavirus vaccines rolling out across the country. This morning we are learning that Pfizer will supply the government with 100 million additional doses of its vaccine. Joining me right now is the CEO of Smithfield Foods, Dennis Organ. Dennis, it's great to have you this morning. Thanks very much for joining us. Can you tell us where you are in terms of that rash of coronavirus cases that hit your...
The thing is, if you watch this after finding out what's actually happening, it's so obvious because I don't know Matt personally, I've never talked to him or anything, but he seems to be both nervous and excited of what's about to happen.
Well, Merry Christmas, Maria. Thank you so much for having me on. I really do want to emphasize the heroic efforts of these folks. They've been getting sick for, really just trying to provide for their families. And as far as Smithfield, what we've done for our employees, we've provided them with extensive personal protective equipment and offered additional paid leave for sick employees. But the steps have unfortunately been insufficient in many instances. These folks have been through a lot. Frankly, we might bear some responsibility for that. And if I may add quickly, as the new CEO and president of Smithfield, I'm personally promised that we're going to do better. And the first change under my leadership is transparency and at times brutal honesty. And
I love that he's literally playing the role of someone who has just been elected as the new CEO of Smithfield.
And the truth is that our industry, in addition to the outbreaks that are happening at our plants, our industry poses a serious threat in effectively bringing on the next pandemic.
Oh, this is really good. Obviously, these slaughterhouse companies are just like what they call food companies. I mean, they're not food workers, they're slaughterhouse workers. They're not food companies, they're slaughterhouse companies. That's what they do. They kill animals for a living. So he's talking about the fact of how much, animal agriculture is responsible for these pandemics.
With CDC data, showing that 3 or 4 infectious diseases come from animals, and the conditions inside of our farms can sometimes be petri dishes for new diseases. Hog farming also causes immense harm to our air and waterways.
Oh, that was really good. He's talking about the impact of obviously these industries on the environment as well, the pandemic and everything. Now, I do want to say one thing. I wish that he had mentioned the animals as well. Obviously, he has to be careful with how much he might make it obvious that he's not the real CEO of Smithfield. I understand that, but for me, you asked me, you have once in a lifetime opportunity to troll Fox News and get on there and have a live interview as if you're the CEO of a slaughterhouse company. I would really put in so much more than just that. I would talk about the animals and what we do to them and how it's unnecessary. You can make it sound a bit less apologetic so that it's not very obvious that you're an animal rights activist, while mentioning what's happening to the animals inside your facilities.
Smithfield Foods is owned by a Chinese conglomerate. So there's been some leveling off of demand that we've seen in China. There was a African swine fever outbreak that happened, or a round of them really, where there was greater demand, and now they're rebuilding.
Dennis, I was told that in China, there was this African swine flu. How are Americans going to believe that the meat is safe if they're going to China to get slaughtered and packaged? What kind of processing securities do you have in place to assure Americans that their pork is safe, Dennis?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have extensive safety protocols in place for our.
Again, I would have preferred if he continued the role play and, said, well, we can't really assure it won't happen again and things like that. I don't know why. It's almost as if he got really sucked into the persona, into the role that he was playing, that he kind of slowed it down. I don't know if he thought it might give him more time and people will not realize what's happening, because you have to keep in mind, I mean, this is Fox News. The chances of someone from Smithfield realizing what's happening and calling Fox News is very high. So obviously this is my personal opinion. He might have his reasons for doing it this way, but I do prefer if he would have pushed it a bit more, and especially at least mention the animals once.
That our company's track record really speaks for itself in that regard. But I mean, in terms of the impact that this industry has on the world, we really want to kind of embrace a brighter future. There's a lot of concerns. Yes. A lot of people are worried about the impacts that we're having, and we've not only.
I mean, it kind of ends over here. They praise the music, and then she interrupts him, and that's kind of it. And I think, in my opinion, this was an amazing idea. Whoever came up with this, respect. It was a great thing. I think more people should try this. Probably it's not going to be as easy from now on. They're going to always be more careful. I don't know if people are going to get fired at Fox News for falling for this. Obviously, I can imagine that DXC reached out acting like they are Smithfield Foods and just said like, hey, do you want to do an interview or something like that? So it's really amazing that they did this. Again, I do wish that, given the fact that he had such a big platform for a few minutes, he made it even worse. Like, he could have mentioned that yes, we are one of the coronavirus hotspots in the United States, or yes, we haven't been taking care of our workers, we have been destroying the environment. And then he could have said something like, but we're trying to work on that, just to put the information out there and just say like, it is at the end an unnecessary business because people do not really need animal products, so therefore we are in danger. And he could have played a bit more with the content that he was putting out. However, still think it's a good idea. That's all I had to say. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you're interested in supporting my work, check out SEBALEX.org. You can click on my website and check everything that you can do to help me out with what I'm doing. You can also check out my clothing website, ethicsoverhabits.com, for vegan, organic, and fair trade merchandise. Do check out the other video. It was one of the biggest announcements I have ever made in my activism career, let's say. And I'm really excited to see what we're going to be able to do with Lebanese vegans in Lebanon and the Middle East. Thank you again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button. I'll see you in the next video.